Hello, friends, and welcome into Pittsburgh Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. We've got the latest on Pittsburgh, including some interesting new odds on the quarterback battle between Trubisky and Pickett. But first, I know we are in a bit of a lull period for the NFL with minicamp over, still roughly a month away from training camp. But we're not going anywhere. We're still going to give you guys daily Steelers videos. If you want the best Steelers YouTube coverage all season and off-season long, you've come to the right spot. Hit that big red button and join us here at Steelers Talk. All right, into the quarterback battle. Those of you who I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't, Trubisky has been the one taking the quarterback one reps so far, but Pickett has also impressed early on for the team's first-round picks. We've got some new odds, by the way, about who will start more games and who will be the Week 1 starter. First up, who will start more games between Trubisky and Pickett? It's a dead even odd situation here, both minus 120, i.e. the juice involved from Vegas. So no real favorite for who will start more games, and the coward's way out also kind of taken as well. Who will be the quarterback in Week 1? Minus 120 for Trubisky, minus 120 for Kenny Pickett. Now, I would be remiss if I did not shoot my shot and take a prediction on both of those. So, here's my bet. Trubisky is the Week 1 starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, Kenny Pickett ends up starting more games in his rookie year. I think they'll go with the veteran hand early on in Trubisky, but eventually they will give way to Kenny Pickett. Maybe, hopefully in a different scenario than the Tyrod Taylor, Justin Herbert situation, where hopefully it's not because of a freak accidental injury that Trubisky ends up losing his job. But I do think Trubisky is the Week 1 guy. They go with the experienced veteran hand who has been the leader early on. But eventually, and it's a matter of when, not if, I would assume. Otherwise, we've got bigger problems here. Maybe Trubisky really is just the next great QB somehow. Pickett will emerge as this team's starting quarterback. He is a first-round pick. That is the guy this team wants to be the QB long-term. Maybe not Week 1, maybe not Week 5, but at some point, Pickett will take over. So when it comes to the two quarterbacks on this team that are going to contend for a starting spot, sorry, Mason Rudolph, who do you have more faith in? Type MT for Mitchell Trubisky or type in KP for Kenny Pickett. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So we get the ad break here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there. MT for Trubisky, KP for Kenny Pickett. Let's go more in depth now on both Pickett and Trubisky, especially how they compared to each other back coming out of college. Pickett's numbers were awesome, and he took such a massive step forward in 2021. He basically had more touchdowns in 2021 than his entire previous 4 years in college. But Trubisky was regarded as the better prospect coming out. Maybe not the number 2 pick to the Bears, but he was viewed as that top quarterback for the most part. Of course, now, with the heavy benefit of hindsight, we know that was not smart. But Trubisky was a highly accurate quarterback who had a decent arm and also was much younger than Kenny Pickett. Was also a bit of a one-year wonder. Of course, we're benefiting from a hindsight from that situation, and we also know where we're at now, 2016 versus 2021. Trubisky is the stopgap option. Pickett is the long-term hope for this franchise. And unfortunately, that does leave Mason Rudolph not exactly in the best spot right now. He is stuck as the middleman. He's not the stopgap option. Trubisky's that one. And he's not the long-term option. That's Kenny Pickett. That screams number 3 quarterback to me, unfortunately. Now, as the Steelers enter their break part, they are going to work out and train together. According to, and this is per Steelers Wire, by the way. According to rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, he is going to head down to Florida during the break and work with fellow Steelers signal caller Mitchell Trubisky prior to heading to Latrobe for training camp. What Pickett didn't mention was if fellow quarterback Mason Rudolph would be attending. I think at this point it's safe to assume Rudolph will be training on his own. I'll say this. That's really good leadership by Mitchell Trubisky to invite Pickett down and have him be there. If Trubisky was only focused in on winning the starting job, the best way to help achieve that would be to not have Pickett down there. That way he's the only one getting reps with the assumed starters at receiver, etc. for Pittsburgh. But it's a good leadership move and a good long-term career move for Trubisky as well in terms of potentially being a backup if this does not work out as a full-fledged starter, to invite Kenny Pickett down and have Trubisky serve as that true veteran mentor. So big ups there to Trubisky. Good job, Pickett, and sorry, Mason. Now, when it comes to Pickett, we know he needs to be the guy for Pittsburgh, given their long sustained success with all of their head coaches overall. And if you want a Kenny Pickett jersey, we got you guys covered. Head over to chatsports.com/Pickett. That URL, which is in the comments section and the description of today's video, will take you right to the Fanatics site where you can buy your own Kenny Pickett jersey. If you haven't already, they are available in time for week 1. So get yours today. chatsports.com/Pickett. That link's again in the comments and in the description. Let's talk this is a wild one, a JuJu Smith-Schuster potential return to Pittsburgh. He just left, right? Well, JuJu did come back to Pittsburgh for a final goodbye with some fans and actually had pretty strong turnout as well. I do respect this move a lot by JuJu, and although not all Steelers fans love him, maybe it was the TikTok dancing that alienated you, he was a good player when healthy for Pittsburgh. So show him some love and don't burn that bridge when you don't have to. Like the video to thank JuJu for everything he did with the Steelers and keep that door open in case, which I'm sure he is watching at right now. Here's what JuJu had to say about a potential return. I could see myself back here. Even today, this shows a lot that I still have fans out here coming to support me. It was just very important. It was huge to come back. I spent 5 years here. To come back to the city where I started my career. When you sign and go to a new team, you move so fast. I literally picked up all my stuff and moved. I didn't have time to say bye to the fans. What we're doing today is really cool. Now, we do have some photos for you. Shout out my boy Nick on Twitter for getting them, of JuJu's event in Pittsburgh. Here's JuJu signing the back of a Steelers fan. I assume that's his daughter right there as well. And even some long lines for the event as well. This one, and plenty of people wearing JuJu jerseys as well. I will say this as it relates to Smith-Schuster. It's a classy move by JuJu to come back to Pittsburgh, do an event, and say goodbye properly. I don't really know if he's ever going to come back to Pittsburgh in any capacity. That is maybe not the most likely outcome with the way that contracts and stuff works, especially with Pittsburgh in pretty good shape, I think, right now at receiver, short-term and long-term. But never say never. It could be 5 years, probably not 10, but somewhere in that range. So be honest with me. Safe space to go either way, Y for yes and for no. Would you welcome back JuJu Smith-Schuster? Type in Y for yes, you would, or type in N for no, you would not. Let's talk defense now. We're talking about Levi Wallace. Is he settling in as the cornerback number 2? Wallace says that he is, and I hope that ends up being the case. Those of you who have been subscribed, watched the show for a long time know I don't love Levi Wallace as my number 2. I feel better about him as my number 3, and the Bills agreed, but he is a solid veteran player. Here's what Wallace had to say coming out of minicamp. Quote, "It's been good so far. The team has embraced me. The DB room is a great group of guys. Learning the scheme, new plays and stuff, just getting into the groove. Feeling my way through the defense. With the Bills, I was in the same defense for 4 years. I could run that with my eyes closed. It's challenging, but fun at the same time, learning new plays. The biggest thing for me is learning new signals. Everyone runs the same defense, the same play calls. It's all about communication and verbiage. That's the biggest thing when you come into this defense. I'm picking it up pretty well, but there are always some tweaks you can learn from." Last year for the Bills, with Trey White also a bit banged up, Levi Wallace was solid, not spectacular. Good pass breakup interception numbers. The contract he got from Pittsburgh, I think, was indicative of how the NFL felt about him. Solid, but someone you're probably open to upgrading from, which is exactly what the Bills wanted to do and why they moved on from Wallace and took another corner in the first round in Kaiir Elam. I am worried overall, to be honest and upfront with everybody, about the depth at this cornerback room. I love Ahkello Witherspoon. That was a steal. Thanks, Seattle, for giving away for nothing. I like Cam Sutton lined up there in the nickel. I would love it if Justin Lane could ever emerge as a piece, but at this point, I just don't think that's going to end up happening. James Pierre's decent depth. Arthur Mallett. It's a thin room, especially once you get beyond Witherspoon and Wallace. But hopefully Wallace continues his upward arc from being the rare Alabama starter who was an undrafted free agent. Maybe the NFL should have done that one better. But I'm hoping he plays really well this year for Pittsburgh. And I want you to be honest with me with this question as well. What is your confidence level in Levi Wallace? Scale it for me 1 to 100. 1 being you think he's an absolute bum. Even I don't think that. 100 being you think he's going to be the best player at corner in the NFL. It's not 100 either. Somewhere in the middle. Let me know in the comments section right now. If you made it all the way to the end of today's video, thank you guys so much. And if you made it to the end and you're not subscribed, clearly you like what we're doing here at Steelers Talk. So subscribe for more free videos on everything going on around the Pittsburgh Steelers.